take it on down to Texas, Wyoming here. This was another big top tier team that started out slow and showed some vulnerability. Danny, what are you thinking on this one?
Yeah, Wyoming had a great win earlier this year at home against Texas Tech, overtime win. Um, I, Texas they pretty much got the job done and did what they had to do. I'm not too concerned with either team. I think Wyoming's still going to have a good year. They're definitely a bowl team for sure. I won't say the New Year's Six bowl, but they're definitely going to have a good 7-8 win season, I think, and get a pretty decent bowl. Hopefully, warm weather for them. Texas, I feel like it was a good, I don't want to say getting it right game, but just kind of play the secondaries, backups in the second half, and just let everybody play and just get your job done and move on to the next week.
All right, Zane. Zane, what's our feeling here?
Yeah, it was an interesting game this weekend. The line opened at I think 29 and a half or 30 points. I thought that was a little bit too much. I think they ended up winning by 21 or 22 points.
21, I think. Yeah,
21
21.
points. Just based on what I've seen from the Texas offense, I don't think they're gonna be putting up those winning by 30 points against real Power Five schools. They beat up on Rice, but they didn't even cover against Rice. So I think Texas, but I don't think they have to beat up on people, right? If they play fundamental and they don't lose the games that they're supposed to win, they could definitely see themselves in a top four seed. And I think that's the ultimate goal. Even if you're a four seed, right, you just got to get yourself to the dance. So if you're Texas, don't mess around. Like Danny said, get your backups in once you know you've got the win. You don't need to see yours go down on a stupid play trying to play hero ball when you're up 20 points. So good on Texas. Take your win. Get on to the next week.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, I mentioned prior to this when we were talking, Zane, that this reminds me a lot of the Michigan game this weekend. It just kind of looked like you know what? The first half, let's try to forget that even happened. Pour it on in the second half, make the box score look a little better, and let's get out of here with a win. Forget about this. Maybe take away a few lessons, but I'm not too worried about Texas. But I think you're right. The offense, not maybe what we thought it was after the Alabama game. And I'm circling that Oklahoma game because Oklahoma, all gas, no brakes, boys. They are
yeah.
putting up numbers, and I don't know what Texas is going to be. I don't know what they've got in their bag of tricks for this, but they better have a bag of tricks, and it better be good.
They're
But
taking
we'll
out
see.
all last year's frustrations on any team that lines up against them this year. That really
Yeah,
seems like what's happening.
them and Oregon both, man, they are putting up numbers. They want
Yeah.
they want somebody on their team in the Heisman race. God, not Bo Nix, please. We know he can't do it. He doesn't have that.
Oh my
But
god.
Bo
we'll
Nix is
see,
not that
man.
guy. He's not that guy.
He's not.
He's
He's
not.
not him.
He's not.
He's not that guy.
He's not him.
We'll take it down to Colorado State. This was the big game of the weekend. This is what every channel was talking about. Dion's been all over my TV. You boys know how I feel about Prime and how sick and tired I am of it, but we can't not talk about it. So, Zane, I'm gonna throw this one up to you. Let's see. What do you got?
Yeah, Corey, we were kind of discussing in the pre-show. I think one thing that's kind of happening every single game is they're getting more tape on Colorado. They were definitely an unknown, and Coach Prime has really done a great job preparing the team every week to play well. But I think you're going to see more teams cue in on the weaknesses of the Buffaloes. Uh, it's going to be a long season. It's fun, right? It's fun to talk about. There's a lot of hype around the team. People were projecting 2, 3, 4 years for the Buffaloes to be a contender. But really, the roster was turned over. It's a completely new roster. Um, and it is exciting, right? It's great for television. It's great for college football. There's so much buzz around it. But at the same time, let's wait and see. If you've got Georgia, Michigan, Texas, there could be an opening on a 4 seed, but they'd have to run the table and they'd probably have to beat Oregon and USC, right? USC's probably got the 4th spot right now, so if they
Mm-hmm.
run the table, there's certainly an opportunity for them to be a top four, and that would just set college football, on fire. That would be the greatest story I think in sports all
Yeah.
year for sure.
I would be out of my mind annoyed with Prime by then. But you know what? It would be great for ratings. Danny, let's hear.
You would
Let's hear
not
what your take
hear
is.
you would not hear from the end of me.
I wouldn't. I know you are chugging that Kool-Aid by the
Oh,
gallon.
dude, just absolutely just pour it all over me, man. I was never a doubt last Saturday, just never a doubt. Um, they had some injuries happen. I think they were just kind of still getting used to the hype. It was the first night game of the year, just trying to get accustomed to the national hype that they're getting. I expect College Game Day and Big Noon Kickoff to just keep following them wherever they go, week in and week out. Especially because the traditional powerhouses, people are getting old of the Alabamas and Georgias of the world. Nobody really cares about Clemson, unless Florida State has a big
Dabo
game. They're not going to
Dabo.
go down. Yeah, so um, they're just going to be following around Colorado all year until Illinois takes off, and then they're going to be the new darling. So it's just Colorado and Illinois' world, and everybody else is just living in it.
Hey man, Illinois better take off soon. Then they're behind on that
All right,
countdown.
they're all right. All right.
Yeah, you guys know how I feel about Colorado and Dion. I overhyped, overrated, over talked about, but the ratings are there and I get it. So, trust me, I'll talk about Colorado every day of the week if we get that subscriber count up, but it'll hurt me. But yeah, no, I think this Colorado State team was slept on. People had already written them off. I think Colorado is still overrated. I mean, they barely squeaked this one out, and I understand Travis Hunter going down is a huge blow on both sides of the ball for them. And it sounds like in a couple of weeks he'll be back, and it's good to hear he's all right. But I'll tell you what, for that first half, it didn't look like Dion could coach his way out of a wet paper bag. I mean, there was 20 some seconds left in the second quarter. Going into the half, they're down, and he put his quarterback out there. More importantly, his son out there to get absolutely teed off on at the end of the half. I couldn't believe it. I mean, it looked like me playing Madden. And by the way, I don't punt. I'm not kicking a field goal. If it's 4th and 30, I don't care. I'm going for it. There could be 1 second left in the half, and I'm up 40. I'm going for it. That's what Dion looked like to me, and I couldn't believe it. But you know what? Props to him. They got out there in the second half. They figured it out and they battled. And Colorado State gifted them a little bit. But you know what? If opportunity knocks and you answer, that's all that is. And it's all it takes for, admittedly a relatively talented roster. They have some dogs. So that, Colorado, guess we'll see. But that schedule doesn't look friendly. So
No, you know what? They're 3-0, and you know what? Alabama, Nebraska, South Carolina, TCU, a lot of programs that have had success. Can't say that. So good on Colorado,
yeah,
right?
listen, man. He brought his own baggage. He said it was Louis. I'm still thinking that we might have uncovered some counterfeit, some knockoff Louis out there in Colorado, but we'll see. We'll see. Oh, we have a Waffles guest appearance.
Waffles
He's making a guest
appearance of the official
appearance.
mascot of Empty Bottle Sports. Waffles.
Is Waffles here to defend Colorado or defend Corey?
Waffles is 100% a Colorado fan. I know it.
Tune in.
Waffles is all about hype.
Every Thursday night, Waffles making his Thursday night football predictions, so be sure to subscribe. Okay, buddy.
Absolutely. I think that's a good note to go out on, boys. How were our drinks, Danny?
Awesome. Spotted Cow, great as always.
All right. Good to know this consistency there. Zane, how's that chalky milk?
Oh, chalky milk's a 10 out of 10 every time. Absolutely hits.
Oh,
Every time.
No doubt.
Yeah. I mean, come on. You can't beat chocolate milk. I mean, I'm not even going to talk about the whiskey. It was fine, but chocolate milk. All right, guys. We're going to sign off here, but thanks for tuning in.